Recent news just in. 10 Downing Street to be sold. Good day to you all. Astonishing, is it not, to think that that could happen. My name is William Gladys, campaigner for the common man, truth seeker and a Royal Westminster establishment irritant. Welcome to balmy Britain in the 21st century, where women and men still debase themselves by bowing and curtsying before obsolete royalty. Secondly, a big thank you to my sponsors, Fugging Monarchy. As a long-standing freelance journalist, I meet frequently with civil servants who have served on numerous think tank projects. The following is just one of many intriguing examples. It was recommended that numbers 9, 10 and 11 Downing Street and the Treasury building in Whitehall be sold at public auction. All the ruling Queen's government and staff will be relocated to a shameful glut of empty rooms deemed surplus to requirements in Buckingham Palace. I recall that the committee member did not mention the homeless, the issue of palace bedroom tax, or the underprivileged people that were experiencing intolerable cuts in their state benefits. With all eyes focused on the future election, it was felt that selling these particular freeholds would mollify the general voting public and be regarded nationally as a judicious and highly ethical move during a time of damning austerity. Moreover, at the time, it was considered politically expedient to placate those in Britain who, irksomely, he sneered, carried the weighty cross of responsibility for the worse off in our society, the homeless, the ill-fated unemployed, and those on state benefits. Wretchedly, there was no mention of benefit cuts for the pampered royals. This combined sale would attract a great number of buyers and generate in excess of £300 million sterling, and help relieve the tiresome national debt. Furthermore, the bounty accumulated would cover the entire cost of palace refurbishment and removals. We cannot have the richest in the nation paying out of their own nest eggs, a member of the committee stated. A major reason for the move to Buckingham Palace was acknowledged in-house analysis that our unelected head of state and her family members were increasingly mixed up in political decision-making. The Queen's repetitive affront to the populace, and I quote, "It is my government," being a clear and insensitive example, as well as the fascistist oath of allegiance that MPs are obligated to swear and thereby endorse exploitive hereditary privilege. In other words, no fascist oath, no seat in Parliament. That's absurd. This outlandish royal political influence and interference in affairs of state, while purporting to be outside politics, is a grotesque deception that must be highlighted more often. As a committee member reaffirmed, these dire people effectively rule the country anyway, so it makes good sense to have their government departments close at hand. In the meantime, in support of the wacky opening of Parliament, the sycophantic British media go into mouth-foaming rapture over the bogus symbolism that is thrust down our throats. The media endorsement of a flunky clad in silly tights as he thumps his bit of stick on the door of the House of Commons. Does anyone seriously believe that such silly imagery is testimony to a fair and equal society? After all, Black Stick is the Queen's representative in Parliament, I believe. Not ours. Moreover, this non-elected monarch is still there, isn't she? Occupying a position of immense power, as confirmed by her speech, which is yet another discriminatory propagandist device an adult nation must dispense with. Indeed, this entire Queen's speech baloney is blatant royal propaganda promoting immoral hereditary privilege. Indeed, any commoner could read the speech better. And what a healthy, progressive model of authentic and groundbreaking democracy that would exemplify. However, lock, stock and barrel removal to the palace would alleviate the outlay of taxpayers' hard-earned cash by eliminating the costly, wasteful trips by her ministers to the palace for cosy consultation over tea and cucumber sandwiches. And let me add, if anyone is green enough to swallow the published ruse that only bread, butter and a cucumber sandwich is being discussed, think again. Clearly, anyone falling for that sham need to take their medications without delay. Likewise, the receiving of tedious letters from a pompous political royal would become redundant. Why write letters when grovelling politicians who express appalling obsequiousness towards our royal overseers are resident in the same building, even going as far as allegedly placing each royal missive at the top of the in-tray in preference to poor old Joe Public's letters which are already there. In the meantime, shocking information germane to long drawn out and much needed social equality in this backward-looking nation of ours has revealed that our non-elected royal political masters are outrageously excluded from the Freedom of Information Act, known universally as the FOIA. Unlike the rest of us, this rich lot, financed by the taxpayer, the common man and woman, have imperiously deprived the community of its principal right to explore matters in the public interest. Nice for some, is it not? Yet another example of a royal imposition which the downtrodden have no alternative but to comply with at present. As a consequence, these bombastic, non-hereditary privileged royal politicians, yes, politicians, will remain unassailable, untouchable and unquestioned for at least another 20 years. This shameful smack in the eye for us, their lowly subjects, not citizens, ensures that we will remain trapped within a diabolical autocratic political system of misrepresentation, deceit and total indifference to moral legitimacy, while at the same time ignoring the urgent need for honourable and immediate royal transparency. Disastrously, this royal subjugation, this permanent wart on the face of our society, will remain until we have achieved real, untainted constitutional reform. Hopefully, the awakening populace will soon no longer kowtow before domination by an arrogant, privileged few. Finally, hereditary privilege, a plague on all our houses due to its malevolent temperament, reinforces a structure of insufferable extremism, yes, extremism, within our society, which is unfair, prejudiced, and morally bankrupt. Hereditary privilege, a plague on all our houses, indoctrinates and infects the minds of the next generation at an early age. A sinister, invidious grooming of our children, while inexplicably many parents apathetically do nothing but accept royalty and the embedded canker of class divisive subjugation it generates as the norm. Unmistakably, this should not be the case. Consequently, the burning need to remove this destructive bane from our polluted society and fight for real change, for a people-first democracy, is now. Thank you.